Welcome back to When the Left Literally Eats Itself. The Green Book had its eye on the prize, not to be a successful box office film, but rather that coveted Oscar. It checked all the boxes necessary. Racism, racist white guys, a charismatic black homosexual lead who's a doctor and musician because why not, who is then driven around by a white racist guy in the white racist South of the 1960s. And never mention the South was almost exclusively run by Democrats during this time. I mean, slam dunk, what could possibly go wrong? Well, co-star Viggo Mortensen, while promoting this movie and condemning racism, speaking about the N-word, accidentally used the N-word. Whew, awkward, and now the left needs its pound of flesh. I'm Ben Davies, this is Pure Hollywood. Well, if you thought slightly homophobic tweets from a decade ago, you know, like the ones from Kevin Hart, are bad for your Oscar persona, just imagine how bad it would be if you said the N-word when talking about how bad the N-word is. You know, how hurtful and awful it is when used to demean specifically a person of color. Well, you don't have to imagine, because Viggo Mortensen, one of the stars of the Green Book, did just that. And I mean, really, no one is safe from a leftist mob lynching. I mean, forget the fact that you're literally starring in a low-budget movie whose entire premise and theme is dedicated exclusively to shining a light on racism. You may think it's possible for Viggo to get a pass on this. I mean, after all, Viggo corrected himself and apologized immediately afterwards just for uttering the words. And you may also think that his African-American co-star, Mahershala Ali, would get his back, right? I mean, you would think he'd be like, guys, chill. I know this guy. We just did this movie together. Did you even watch the movie? However, after these comments, Ali released a statement. How inappropriate the whole thing was, but how he accepted his apology. Quote, an excellent and poignant thought was unfortunately overshadowed by voicing the word in its fullness, which for me is always hurtful, unquote. You know, that way to throw him under the bus while he was literally speaking out against racism. But of course, putting your arm around Viggo would have been too unifying. And the narrative must continue, and movies like this must continue to be made. At the Oscars last year, the Pope of Hollywood, Jimmy Kimmel, said, quote, we don't make movies like Call Me By Your Name, which was an absolutely trash film, to make money. We make them to annoy Mike Pence, unquote. Don't forget, this also means you, who may think a grown man diddling a 17-year-old boy is, you know, gross. And it's true, some of these movies are just not for you. There are two kinds of movies. One's made to entertain, bring people together, and make millions at the box office around the world. And Oscar bait movies that are almost exclusively made by studios burning the money they made off successful films in hopes of showing off how woke and progressive they are at some award show. And the Green Book definitely falls in the latter and may have just shot itself in the foot, because the left always eats itself. I'm Ben Davies, this is Pure Hollywood. Did you enjoy that video? Of course you enjoyed that video. So now you need to become a premium member to the Rebel. That way you have first access to Pure Hollywood and the entire Rebel lineup.